Twitter is the fastest moving of the social media channels that your business should be on. But don't worry, because we are here to get you ahead of the game and meet your marketing goals. Welcome to Homebuilder Happy Hour. Hi guys, and thank you for joining us. Today on Homebuilder Happy Hour, we are going to be getting really tactical and talking about how to use Twitter for your business. So if you're a brand, you're a builder, whatever your company is, and you guys are killing it on Twitter, you're probably not going to have a lot of takeaways from this video. But if you're wanting to get your company into using Twitter and grasp a better understanding of how to do that, then we're going to give you some really great walkthrough how-to tips to get your brand onto Twitter and get you start tweeting out there. So we're going to switch over to my PowerPoint plan, and we're going to start with ways to get started. And obviously, like, the first thing that you're going to want to do is to create an account and fill out your profile. That's pretty self-explanatory. Just head over to twitter.com and follow the instructions. The next thing you're going to want to do once you fill out all of the areas of the profile, which I know you can handle on your own, is you're going to want to spend some time following other accounts that are related to your business. We're talking about vendors, competitors, realtors, and you're going to want to sort these into lists. I want to show you an example of that. This is one of our clients, and you can see just a few of our lists, but we have blogger lists, and that little lock right next to it means that other people can't see your list. So if you want to keep something private, a list private, you can do that. You can see community, you can see that's people in the community, retweetable accounts. So this is a really great way for us to be able to just go see one list of people who we're following, and we know these accounts usually have really great tweets that make sense for us to retweet. And then obviously we have our realtors, we have our builders that are building in that master plan. Lists are just a very helpful way to help you build up your following on Twitter. And when people are following you, or when you follow people, they often will follow you back, especially because it makes sense. You're in the local community together and you can help each other out. Lists are especially handy in content management software like Sprout Social. So we use Sprout to manage our various Twitter feeds, but it lets you take a look at that feed right in Sprout of whatever list you want to select without having to actually go into Twitter. So if you're an agency like us and switching between accounts, you probably already know and are using some sort of platform like Sprout in order to handle your various accounts. But if you're a builder or you're the actual brand, using something like Sprout Social would be a really great way to just manage all your social media channels in one place. So now that your account is set up, we want to actually get to tweeting. So you've set up your account, you've spent time following other accounts, and now you're going to want to create a plan to guide you. So without a content strategy that aligns with your marketing goals, it's going to be difficult to create content that feels like it has purpose. So a few things I want to just go over is, one, when you're starting to tweet, you need to remember that you have a character count of 280 characters. So that limits you to what you can say. So you really need to think about how you're going to write your content. It's going to be different than how you're writing it on Facebook or Instagram, how you're creating descriptions on Pinterest or YouTube. Twitter is its own, platform, and it has its own rules. And so you're going to want to write your content to work within the confines of this platform and to deliver people who might be reading a message that is in the format that they're expecting in that platform. And in this case, it's 280 characters. We want you to think about your business and why you would use Twitter. So this is important to me because I work with a lot of builders and developers and interior designers and different companies within the building industry, and everybody has a unique strategy. But over the last 10 years that I've been using Twitter for our clients, clients, I have learned a few things, definitely some how-tos on why you would use Twitter and when is the appropriate time to use Twitter. So for me, if you're a national corporate builder and you've got a national brand, you're Toll Brothers, then you have a really good reason to use Twitter because there's a lot, you're trying to get PR and different things. And so Twitter is the place for you. It's also the place if you're a smaller builder and you're still trying to build that brand recognition, then you're definitely going to want to be using Twitter. If you are a company who wants news out to, consumers, to other businesses, B2B, and it's important to you, you're writing, especially if you're writing press releases and people are writing about you, if you're on the stock exchange, you really, really need to be on Twitter. You need to be using it to its best advantage. People are on Twitter to get news in a lot of cases, and that's part of the program. So you're going to want to be using it in order to get your own news out and to see what people are saying about you, retweeting when appropriate, responding when appropriate. So another reason you might use Twitter if you're a builder or a developer is because you work with realtors. So we all know realtors are a very big piece of our pie in this industry, and building those relationships with realtors is something we are always working on for our clients, and our clients are working on independently, of us and with their sales teams. But realtors really use Twitter to get information, to share information. And so creating relationships with realtors on Twitter can really be a win-win for both of you. It's a very fast and effective way to communicate your, quick move-in homes, your videos for your new neighborhood, information about your company. And so creating that list of realtors, especially realtors you've worked with, and realtors you'd like to work with or popular realtors in an area, you can actually find realtors really easy on Twitter. So it's easy to build those lists, and geographically, that's a nice piece of that equation. So it's a great list to follow and see what they're tweeting about, and if it makes sense to retweet or respond or whatever. Twitter's a really great resource for realtor relationships. And then the third one is influencer marketing. So if you're a builder and you are using or want to be using influencer marketing to get your brand out there to, potential consumers, and you're working with influencers, then you want to be on Twitter because influencers are on Twitter and many of them have a really large followers and they have dedicated followers. People really trust and believe what it is that they're putting out there. And so it's kind of like getting your news from your favorite people, even though they're not news media. They're talking about things that consumer cares about. And so they care to see those tweets. So that would be a really good strategy for you if you're a builder and you want to use Twitter. So we're talking about PR, building, realtor relationships, and then influencer marketing. Those are three cases and three strategies that I think are very strong for Twitter. But I do want to say, if your goal is just to find home builders and you have find home buyers and you have limited financial resources and you are wanting to either not do it yourself or hire an agency, I would say probably skip Twitter, because unless you have a strong strategy to reach one of these following, demographics that I just talked about, or your strategy is for one of the reasons I just went through, then it's probably not the place for you to be. Now, I have seen sales happen from Twitter. I have had clients convey to me or have their, buyers check off that, yeah, they first heard about us on Twitter and that's why they're here and that's why they purchased the home. It has happened, but not nearly as much as it's happened from Facebook or Instagram. So if you're really needing to hone your resources, I would do that. The strategy for finding a potential home buyer isn't going to be, best spent on Twitter. So that's my advice. I do think there's a time and a place for Twitter in this industry. It's just really thinking about that and then investing the resources to really make it work for you. So I'm going to go back to the presentation here. And we're going to talk more about tweeting with purpose. So when you're tweeting, the first thing I want you to realize is that they only last about 18 minutes. Your tweet does not have a long shelf life. So after about 18 minutes, your tweet gets buried under all the other tweets that are coming in. Like I said at the very beginning, Twitter is the fastest moving of the social media channels. So you're not going to see their algorithm pulling up a lot of old tweets for you. It's moving very fast. You've got about 18 minutes. And I want to just show you this chart here. So you can see this is based on a little over 2,000 users' tweets. And so I can't get my little mouse to work here, but you can see in the bottom line is indicating the number of minutes. And so it's about in the first 7 minutes are the most important time for your tweets. You're going to get the most engagement right at the beginning. And you can see that really dwindles off after about an hour. So what this means is that your content plan should include tweeting several times a day, not just once a day or once a week. If that's all you're going to do, then don't use Twitter. You need to schedule tweets much more often throughout the day. So the second thing is, while you can be tweeting several times a day, make sure that you find the best times to publish. I have another little graphic for you that shows the most popular, points throughout the day on a 24-hour period here. And you can see from about 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock is the peak time. So that those morning hours, that is when we're seeing the most engagement happen. In the morning, we are seeing the majority of clicks on in-post links. So if you tweeted and you had a link in your tweet, the morning is when we're generally seeing the most clicks on those links. In the evening, so you get into the later hours, these are the after dinner hours where we're starting to spike again. That is when we are seeing people engaging with your tweets. So maybe they're liking it or retweeting it in the evening, but these are just general numbers. It doesn't mean that that's going to be accurate for you. The best time for your specific audience might differ from another person's best time. And honestly, the best place to look for this is in your analytics. So analytics are an important piece of this equation. We are always looking into our analytics to see what's working best for our clients. So the next thing is that you should be experimenting with posting different media. Twitter allows you to post photos, videos, polls, and links. Video is still king, so we definitely think that you should be posting a lot of video, and posts that have video are essentially getting about 48% more views. Polls are another really fun way to create engagement. So here's just an example from Airbnb where they have done a poll saying the long weekend starts now. What are your plans? And then the poll you click and they've given you the 4 options. And it's just a fun way to really get people to engage with your tweet. Okay, so next is going to be curating your content. Twitter's used for a lot of things, but mainly I'm going to say as a source for news and information. So keeping this in mind, you want to curate your content to align with this theme. You want to remember, even though you're, a builder and you're trying to get your brand out there, you want to remember why people are using Twitter, right? I mean, they're using Twitter to get their news. They're using it to get a quick look at information. And so they're not really, or to link off to something, they can be searching for various hashtags and whatnot, but curating your content to meet that need is a direction you really want to think about before writing and scheduling your tweets. I want to show you just an example at least, or give you an example of the different types of content we're talking about. So we're talking about, grand openings, open house updates, community events, new neighborhoods or houses that just became available for sale, videos, like we said, tours of your models or available homes, polls on home design. This is kind of a fun one that Toll Brothers did where they said pendant light fixtures are great focal features for any kitchen. Which style do you prefer? And so that's a great way to create engagement, like we said before. Employee appreciation. New blogs are a really great thing to post on Twitter because it's new content that you can send people to on your website. So, while your own content should be the biggest part of your strategy, engaging with other content is crucial to your success on Twitter. So, you'll want to be retweeting, commenting, liking other people's tweets. Home builders can retweet things like community events or nearby events happening in the city in which they're building. They can retweet great reviews of their neighborhood, home buying advice blogs, and so many other things that have to do with your business. There's a lot of content out there that you could be sharing on Twitter. So now we're going to get into the advertising portion of how to use Twitter. And Twitter ads, they really are a great way to get your message in front of people on Twitter. Twitter has a lot of noise, so running an ad is going to really help get the word out and get people to see your content. There's two types of ads we're going to talk about. The first one is promoted tweets. And so promoted tweets are tweets that appear in people's feeds and search results. Promoting a tweet allows you to choose a certain tweet to promote and target based on interest or location. So hopefully my example will come up for you. Oh, there we go. We're going to go back. So promote mode, that's the first one, where it's allowing your tweets to appear in people's feeds and search results. So this is a tweet you would have written and you're going to promote that tweet. And so you can choose a target market of people you want to see and you can base it on their interest or location. And here's an example of Target. They did a promoted tweet. So they tweeted, "We are live now, come join us." And then they promoted the tweet. And this allows them to reach a huge audience to get them to watch their live video. And then the second type of ad are Twitter ads. And these are more holistic and they let you choose an objective. So here's where is if you have a mobile app, you can get people to download your app. You can run these ads to get more followers, tweet engagements, promoted video views, web clicks, pre-roll videos. So there's a lot that you can do. And once you choose an objective, you'll go through several targeting options to find the right audience. Here's a few examples. This first one is a pre-roll video ad. So it's not going to play the video, but you can see on the bottom of the picture, ad by Pizza Hut, and you can skip it in 3 seconds. It's the same type of thing you can do on YouTube, but you can do these pre-roll ads. Another example is this promoted trend. So every day there's always hashtags and subjects that are trending on Twitter, and it's always good to check in on what those trends are. But if you're Jack Ryan, the amazing show on Amazon Prime, you can see that they promoted this tweet for when the new season officially begins, which actually I'm super excited about because that's coming up 11/1, and I loved that show. So this is an example of promoting a trend to get people in on your trend and talking more about kind of what's coming up and what's happening. The third example is a promoted account. So you'll probably see these a lot if you use Twitter because it's helping you build up your following. I know that when I use Twitter, I'm gonna go back to full screen here. Hello. I know that when I use Twitter, it's how I find and follow a lot of accounts is by clicking on the follow for these like suggested accounts that are showing up on the right or left-hand column. And it is a really, really great way to build up people who are following your account. But also another thing that we have been trying out and that is very successful is running the promoted tweets. So if we tweet about like a new blog post or some new content, and I mentioned this already, but we have tried, tested, and true promoting those tweets, and it generates a ton of traffic to your website at a very low cost. So if that's something you're looking at, which shouldn't actually be like your number one factor is your cost per click, because it really, you want to look at how much time they're then spending on your website. Are they going anywhere else? The analytics, like I said, are really important. But running an inexpensive promoted tweet will generate a lot of traffic to your website and help give your brand the additional exposure that you're looking for by using Twitter in the first place. So I hope that you found this video helpful. I hope that, if you are thinking about getting on Twitter, this helps get you there. If you have questions, please let us know. As always, you can post those in the comments. We would love for you to subscribe to our channel and click the little notification button and just kind of keep the conversation going. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys later. Hey guys, it's Kelly here.
And Ryan.
Hey, I really want you to do me a huge favor and please subscribe to our channel. I'm sure there's like a subscribe button around here. I want you to push it and then you're subscribed. And then the second thing for you to do is to ring the little bell. It's like a bell. Ring it. You click it and it shakes. And that means you're going to get notifications every time we have a new video. And then I have one more job for you, and that is to grab this, your cell phone, and I want you to send us a text and just get on our text list. Text HBHH to the number 797979, and we'll send you a sweet little text with a link to our newest videos. Thanks.